Hey guys, in this video, we're going to continue to extend our knowledge of accuracy, the second A in CRAAP. Specifically, we're going to learn about the skill of corroboration and the skill of going upstream, both of which are designed to give us a couple of more strategies for how we can determine the reliability of a source using that CRAAP test. Now, the first step, no matter which of these two we choose, corroboration or going upstream, the first thing we need to do is select one or two pieces of information, and ideally this is going to be a quote, a statistic, or a fact, as these are just going to be a little bit simpler and more concrete to deal with. An anecdote might be a little bit more unwieldy, so we're going to avoid that for now. For step two now, if I were going to corroborate, having picked my one piece of information or two pieces of information, I'm now going to copy and paste that piece of information into Google, and I'm going to add the Google search operator of source, and then enter the name of a reliable source. And I'm doing this to see if this same piece of information exists elsewhere amongst other reliable sources. It's almost like a power in numbers sort of thing. If other reliable resources have this same information, it likely speaks to the fact that the resource we're currently looking at is also reliable. So let's go ahead, let's pop into Google. All right. This is just a little website I came across comparing World War I and II, and I scroll down and I see this, like 60 million people died in World War II. Well, the issue with this here is that, well, in terms of accuracy, there's nothing here that tells me where this number came from. So immediately I should be a little bit skeptical. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out and say like 60 million died in World War II. Let's just do that. So 60 million died in World War II. Oh, perfect. Look, I've already done this. So 60 million died in World War II. Source, History Channel. Again, this number was not cited in the site, so I want to make sure that I have a sense that this number and this information can be corroborated. So let me hit enter here. So now I'm looking for something from the History Channel, and what do I get? World War II proved to be the most devastating international conflict in history, taking the lives of some 35 to 60 million people. Now, this tells us that the information from this site might have been on the high end, right, as it says over 60 million, but we also see that there are lower estimated deaths as well. This likely tells us that the information that we're getting from this site, according to the skill of corroboration, is in fact accurate. Now, let's go ahead, right, having done that, let's go back to the mini lesson. Now, that was only one tool. A second tool that we're going to have is going upstream. In other words, most content, most information that we're going to find on the internet, it's not original, guys. We need to find where the information originated from. And in that regard, we're quote unquote going upstream. Now let's find some ways to do this. So let's go ahead and go back. Let's just pop in right here. This is just a little opinion piece from the New York Times from last year, asking if Democrats will win the House, and then it says ask Texas. So I'm just going to scroll down, and you're going to see, guys, a lot of information, a lot of facts, a lot of quotations, and a lot of information has hyperlinks, which tells us that it's telling us where this information is coming from. We can see a lot of that here. We can see quite a bit of that here. Again, we see that here. So these hyperlinks are really clear and really helping us out. But as I was reading this over, one thing really jumped out to me, and it was this right here. It says they're angry, or excuse me, yeah, well, it should say they're angry about Trump, and they're convinced that his turbulent presidency and failure to nudge his approval rating much above 40% could mean an enormous blue wave. Now, what's the problem with this? Well, obviously the problem is that this 40% number, it doesn't tell us where this actually came from. So right off the bat, I should be skeptical. If I don't know where this came from, I cannot just assume that this information is accurate, even though it's in the New York Times. I need to make sure that this number is in fact accurate. So I'm going to just kind of copy that. I go here and take 40%, and then here you go. You're going to see this search that I've already done, but the reason I'm doing this search is because 40% Donald Trump approval. This here, these are all keywords that I've been able to pull out. So again, I'm trying to go upstream to see, is the 40% approval something that's actually legitimate? Is that backed up by other sources? So I'm going to go here. How popular is Donald Trump? And, well, you can take a look right there. 40.4%, which tells us that this information here is in fact accurate. Although I might argue that I'm not exactly done, because guys, what should I pretty clearly do? I should first make sure that this number makes sense. And as you can see here, this information is coming from places like YouGov and Harris Interactive. So what I could conceivably do now is actually check on the authority of things like YouGov. I could check on the authority of Harris Interactive. So I could go ahead and actually dive more deeply into this. Once though that we've corroborated that the information is accurate, we can now go a little bit further to ensure that the source from which that information is coming is too authoritative. So in this way, accuracy and authority actually play off each other in some respects. Again, guys, when it comes to corroboration, what we're trying to do is find that there's another source out there that's reliable, that has the same information, which kind of then in turn proves the accuracy of our initial source. When it comes to going upstream, our goal is to use our knowledge of accuracy, but also use our knowledge of authority in order to learn where the information comes from, and then to determine whether or not where that information comes from is also authoritative. All right, guys, thanks.